Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. On February 16th, Jason Robert Brown and Alfred Urry's acclaimed musical Parade will be brought to life for one night only at Avery Fisher Hall, where three-time Tony Award winner Jason Robert Brown will conduct his score featuring a star-studded cast, including Jeremy Jordan, Laura Benanti, and Joshua Henry. And we dropped by the rehearsal room to bring you a sneak peek and to meet the company.
Of home, the old red hills of home, kneel down, praise those who fight for the old hills of Georgia, for those proud and valiant men. We'll sing Dixie once again.
Jason, it's all been surreal this whole week for you with the opening of the film and working on this. Tell me.
Well, it would all be fine if I didn't have two children who I had to, they wake us up at 6 a.m. and we get them to school, and then my day sort of starts. And so I just, I've had all of these planes sort of sitting on the runway for, years, and now they're all taking off at the exact same time. It's thrilling and it's great, but wow, I will look back on all of the interviews you and I did this week, and I will just look like this the whole time, because that's how I feel, yeah.
This is one of my all-time favorite musicals. I have the fondest memories of seeing this. What has it been like revisiting it this way with this massive cast and orchestra? Tell me.
It's, in a lot of ways, it feels like the best possible version of the show, in that it combines sort of what we did at Lincoln Center originally with all of the changes we made at the Donmar, but with an even larger orchestra, which is really, it was always meant to be a very big piece. It was meant to be an epic. And so now to have the advantage of not just this epic orchestra, but this epic choir behind us, it just feels like we're finally able to give this whole show the musical weight that it always wanted. And so I'm really honored by it. I'm really gratified. It's a very special experience. It's a lot of work, but I put my baton down for the downbeat of the Old Red Hills of Home with the orchestra at the rehearsal the other day, and I was overwhelmed. It was an overwhelming feeling, and so immediate, as opposed to all the other stuff, which I've been sort of in the middle of for a very long time. This was like, it's like I've had this egg that I've been sitting on for 15 years, and finally it just cracked open. And this music is so, it means so much to me that it no longer really feels like mine. I mean, I wrote this show, the opening number I wrote in 1994. So it's been over 20 years. It doesn't even feel like I sort of wrote it anymore. It's just sort of something that I know. And so to hear it come to life like this, it's very powerful.
Incredible cast. I mean, talk about your leads.
Never mind the leads. Everyone, like the people who have like one line. I've got Andy Mianthus doing one song. Katie Clark is doing one song, and they're so good. And it's, I made a really concerted effort to cast Southerners in the show, because I felt like that texture is so important to how the show works. And so when you hear John Ellison Conley do this dialogue, or you hear Davis Gaines do this dialogue, they understand it, in their bones. And that's what Alfred writes. Alfred writes Southerners, and he writes them, just as purely and cleanly. When Alan Campbell starts doing the Governor Slayton stuff, he knows what it is. It counts for a lot. But Jeremy, first of all, how much Jeremy Jordan do I need to have in my life right now? Apparently, all my songs are going to be sung by Jeremy Jordan, and I'm going to be good with that. That's going to work out just fine. But, I get to watch him in the movie all week, and then we get to sit here, and he opens his mouth, and he's a whole other character with a whole other vocal quality, and it's so rich and great. And I have loved Laura my entire life. We did one concert together about 5 or 6 years ago at the Time Warner Center, and it was the greatest night, and I've wanted to get back and do something with her. And this, it was like both Jeremy and Laura, we found like this tiny window where it happened that they were both available, and I'm so lucky that because they sing, and what else in the world could I possibly need? We deliberately didn't give away All the Wasted Time, but when you hear them sing All the Wasted Time, basically you want to jump out a window, because what else is there to live for? The party's over. That's it. It's done.
It means means cancel all your parties. Forget your big parade. It means the crowds will not be cheering, so despite what you've been hearing, you can lay down your spade. It means my mother can stop crying. My rabbi's eulogy can wait.
Right, first of all, tell me, that was so beautiful at the piano. What's it been like for you just being in this room, working with these amazing people on this project?
It's been great. You know, I didn't really know Parade very well before I came in, and so it's been this really fresh explosion of emotion kind of coming at me, and it's really cool to get to work with the original creators, Jason and Alfred, and Gary's incredibly smart, and working with Laura is she's just very giving as a scene partner, and trying to sort of find this strange, maybe slightly autistic character in a fast forward is really fun and challenging.
Brilliant team. I mean, the book by Alfred Uri, this is his family. I mean, has he given you insight? Have you spoken to Alfred about the whole history of this or the piece?
Yeah, we've spoken to Alfred, and he's talked to us a little bit about it, and he's kind of given us a little bit of insight on who these characters really were and what kind of world they lived in, and specifically my character. Everybody here, everybody in the play except for me, this is their home, and the fact that he feels just so horrifically out of place with every moment and every interaction that he has, it just doesn't feel right, and how that makes him feel alienated, but at the same time alienates him from everyone else, which sort of allows the public hysteria of them just accusing him of doing unthinkable acts.
He's always like that character who's looking in, like he doesn't belong.
Oh yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He truly doesn't. He doesn't care for any of these ideals of any of these people, and I don't think he even really cares about what his wife thinks most of the time. And it takes something like this and this tragic act and being in jail for over a year and this incredibly humbling experience just to realize that one person that has always been there for him was that he can sort of rethink his way of thinking about even the most important person. It takes him that long just to understand that you don't have to push everybody away.
And singing the score, watching Jason play for you all, you have quite a history with him. What's it like singing his score? Because this is like your second score of his.
Yeah. It's great. Well, this one is much lower in my register. It's like a baritone, so I get to sort of relish in the mid-tones and have a sort of more of a legit quality to it, and there's not really a lot of belting or anything like that. It's just really just loving the words and loving the lyrical emotions and infusing every line with character, and he writes incredibly conversational, and so it is easy to sing, even though the melodies might be difficult, but it makes it easy to act as well. Yeah.
And just working with the cast, I mean, working with Laura Safar, everybody in this show who was like one line of dialogue is the best of the best.
Well, it's actually, doing a read-through the other day, it showcases a giant number of people. I mean, almost everyone in the cast has at least a large chunk of a song, if not more than that. So it's going to be a great showcase for everybody in it. People that everyone knows and people that no one knows.
Yes.
So.
How many weeks, or what was your rehearsal schedule like? This is epic. I mean, you're going to have,
No, we start on Monday. It's Thursday now, and we will do the show on Monday. So, 8 days, 7 days, 7 days. Well, 7.5 if you count like the day of.
So it's like you make your choices and you just go with it. It's sort of like encores.
Yeah, it's absolutely encores, books and all. Maybe a little less costume, but I got my glasses, so they help a lot.
I was going to ask you about that. Did that sort of set the tone for the character?
Well, I just started using them today.
Yes.
So no, but it makes me feel like because I know I don't look exactly like him, and it just makes me feel like it makes me settled more and kind of get me out of my own head.
Sure.
Yeah.
How excited are you to be working on Parade?
I'm very excited. I'm terrified that it's happening so soon, but I'm very excited.
Did you know the show well before you started?
I'm embarrassed to say, I've been really debating whether or not to tell the truth about this, but the truth is I didn't know the show until now. And I'm really mad at myself that I could have had all of those years listening to and enjoying and crying over this score, because it's so remarkable. But I'm just happy that it's in my life now, and then I get to do it on Monday, and I think it's going to be really good.
Isn't that great how things come around that way?
Yes. Yeah, I don't know what is wrong with me. I think when I started becoming a professional actor, I stopped listening to so many recordings of things because I was cramming other things into my brain. But I really wish that I had listened to this.
Okay. Having Jason Robert Brown and Alfred Ury in the room, what has that been like?
It's incredible. Having two living authors, you don't have to be like, I wonder what they meant. You can be like, what did you mean? And they'll tell you, and they guide you, and it's been wonderful. They're both so funny, and what you need levity in a room like this when you're just dealing with such a heavy subject matter. It's nice to have people who you can laugh with.
Jason has always wanted to work with you. You guys did like a benefit, right? You did a one-nighter or something? Or
We've done like concerts together and benefits, and I just love him so much. I think his music is extraordinary, and I think he's also just a very funny, cool person. So I've always been, we keep trying to work together, and nothing's ever worked out, and so it finally did. When this came along, my agent and I were like, block everything off. Like, we protected this so much because it's easy for things to come along and you're like, oh, I can no longer do your one night concert. But I was like, absolutely not. We are protecting this, and we did. So I'm very excited. I love him so much.
And this role so far, what she means. These are put together really fast. So you make these incredible choices and you just go with them. What's it been like finding her?
I'm just trying to be honest. I think that is my thing for me as an actor. I just try to listen and respond truthfully. Not how I necessarily would in the moment, but how I imagine this human being would. So I've been doing my research. I've been, talking to Alfred and Jason, and I watched a documentary about it, and I'm just trying to understand her and then bring my own sensibility to it.
That song we heard you, talk about working with Jeremy and the song we heard you sing today.
Jeremy has the most amazing voice I've ever heard. He really does. It's actually annoying. Like, sometimes his mouth is like barely even open, and there's like a sound coming out, and you're like, where is that? Is it coming from your nostrils, like your ears? What is happening? It's really the most remarkable voice I think I've ever heard. It's truly insane. So we haven't had a whole lot of time to work on this because he's also been plugging his big fancy movie with Jason Robert Brown, with the amazing Anna Kendrick. So we only work together Monday, Tuesday, and today. But it's catch as catch can. We're trying.
That's what I love about these kind of events. We've been with him every step of the way for the last 5 years. Yeah. And even with Jason, I'm like, it's got to be surreal for them. But putting these together, it's like puzzle pieces. This is going to be epic on Monday.
Yes. Oh.
It's really exciting. I was at Ragtime and I was at Titanic last year. There was not a dry eye in the house. Yeah. You're going to have a 250-piece chorus, like a 28-piece orchestra conducted by Jason.
I know.
And that place is huge.
It's a pretty humongous space. I'm rehearsing for Radio City Music Hall right now, so this is like a tiny black box theater comparatively. But yeah, I'm really focused on letting these words and this score come to life, and not try to worry too much about like my performance. I want people to hear this music. So
it's all in the score and in the words.
It is. All you have to do. It's delivered to you perfectly. All you have to do is do it.
For the old hills of Georgia, the old red hills of old, not much survives on the old hills of Georgia. But I close my eyes and live here, all the pleasures we held dear.
How exciting is this for you?
So thrilling. I have to thank Jason Robert Brown for inviting me to come out from LA to do this, because I live in LA now, and I don't know why, but it's so great to be back in New York doing this with this incredible cast.
How well did you know the show?
I know it pretty well because I was involved. I was involved with the Don Mar Warehouse production at the Mark Taper Forum in Los Angeles a couple of years ago with T.R. Knight and Laura Pulver, and so with another amazing company. But Jason was nice enough to invite me to come out to do this with this cast, and this cast is equally, if not more, brilliant and talented than one out in LA. So I'm thrilled.
Everybody in this cast, like Jason said, if they have one line of dialogue, it's Broadway's best.
I think not only singing, the singing voices are amazing, but the acting across the board is like so spot on, because it's so very hard to do an authentic Southern person, Southern accent, and the majority of the cast is from the South. So it really makes a huge difference in just the dialect and the dialogue, and it's just so natural, and it makes a huge difference in this show because it's all about that. Yeah.
Singing this score, specifically the number we saw you do today.
It's thrilling. I mean, I'm so lucky to have that little spot in the beginning, and then the song I sing in the second act wasn't in the original production. It wasn't in the original. They wrote a new number for my character, the judge, and so it really, in a way, it will be like the New York premiere of that song when it comes out on Monday. So no one's really heard it here before. So it's a great song called "The Glory," and the judge and Dorsey sing it together. It's great.
What are you looking forward to the most about Monday?
Oh my God, just getting back on Avery Fisher Hall stage and singing. I mean, I did Sweeney Todd there with Patty and George and Audra and all them and Neil, and to get back up there and sing a concert with another great musical is just, I can't wait. It's so great to be here. I miss New York so much. I need to come back and work and
come back and stay.
Do another show. Can't wait. I can't wait.
What has this whole experience been like for you so far?
Well, to get a cast like this together, it's miraculous. There's, first of all, so many really Southern people, for one thing, and the ones that aren't talented are so talented. It's just a joy for me to be around again and see an A-plus company do Parade. I'm just so happy. Parade lives pretty well all the time now, and we didn't know that for a while. We put our hearts in it the first time, and they got a little busted over it. And then we did it again a few years later at the Donmar in this new version that Jason and I sort of rewrote about 15% of it. And to see it live and thrive makes me very happy.
That's what I love about creativity. You get to revisit these pieces you have such passion for, and you tweak them a bit, and you only make them better.
Particularly this one. I mean, yes, it's my family, this show, and it means a lot to me. And to have somebody like Jason, who was 24 when we did this the first time, and didn't know the South at all, but he listened to me, and he's like a genius. So it's just exciting to see this thing come around again.
An incredible cast. I mean, talk about the Franks.
Oh yeah, you mean to get Jeremy and Laura, and these other people too, Josh Henry and John Ellison Conway. I mean, these people are amazing. I mean, they just get it. It couldn't be better.
So what has it been like for you being in this room all over again? Have you been able to put it into words, the emotion of how you feel about revisiting this again?
Well, obviously there's no reason for me to be here. I'm not writing anything, but I have trouble staying away because it's so exciting. Just to know that Parade lives makes me, and to live in this stirring version. I can't wait for this 220 people chorus. I mean, luckily, 3 of my 4 kids are coming. Let me see, 3 of my grandchildren. I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and I never thought I would play Philharmonic Hall. So it couldn't be better.
How excited are you? First, you're a really busy man this season.
Well, Jason Robert Brown's keeping me employed, so I just following him around New York and doing shows with him, which is great.
It must make it a little easier when you work with a genius like that, or 2 geniuses together when you put them into a room like that. You sort of have a shorthand, right?
It is great to have worked with Jason and know him, and I've loved Parade for ever since it came out. I saw the original Broadway production. I was knocked out by it. It was one of those recordings I knew and the shows I've known, and so to get to do it again and to get to do it and with Jason again in New York and with this company, and this is a incredible one night only event, and so I'm just trying to cherish every second and enjoy it.
What are the challenges? Because it's like a puzzle putting it together. Some stars you don't have for certain days. I mean, what is it like for you directing something like this?
Well, luckily, we've been able to manage a process that gets the best time of everyone. But it's the show is really well put together. When you're working on something that it flows actually pretty easily. So we've been able to, in a fairly short time, put it all up, and it's also when you find the people who have that kind of power and can put it across, it goes so fast. And we've known Parade now for what is it? Is it 16 years? It's been so we know the show. The show is in our consciousness. So we come to it ready to go, which has been great.
What are you looking forward to the most about Monday?
I'm looking forward to people getting to see and hear the piece with an extraordinary company and really getting to feel its power again. I think that's going to be. It's an incredibly powerful story. Jason's score is it just knocks you over, and I think the audience is going to be in the presence of that story and that piece, and with this orchestra and this amazing choir and really the best Broadway has performing it. So I think that it's a really special evening, one time only.
All right, how excited are you to be working on Parade?
Very excited. I've first musical I'm doing with Jason Robert Brown, which is very exciting, and I'm excited to play Jim Conley because he's unlike any other character that I've played. I've been playing a lot of good guys, just really nice guys. This guy's not. He's a little off his rocker, and he finds himself in a very unique situation, but his personality is a really unique one. I don't want to give too much away, but he's a really an amazing character. Yeah.
Singing this score.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we just did the opening number a while ago, and I think it really captures just the grand pride of the South, especially the rebuilding from the Civil War. I love it. I mean, it's so, that's the word that comes to mind, grand. It's incredible, and the cast is singing it amazingly. Laura and Jeremy, I mean, I can't imagine what it's going to be with 250 additional voices, because we're in rehearsal and we're all like, ah! So really excited about it. I can't believe it's only one night.
Huge orchestra.
28, so let me say, 28 pieces, 250 singers behind. The cast is already like 25. I don't even know handling it on stage is going to be, it's incredible. It's going to be really special.
So what has it been like just working in this room and hearing this and working with these people?
Well, I knew this score for a long time. In college I studied it a lot, and it's really been a dream as I've gotten to know Georgia and Jason, and I've worked with a lot of the people. Ramin, so we're still finding it out, and it's growing with every hour that we sing a song. Every time I sing, those two songs that I sing, I learn more and more. But it's really dense, so there's always discovery happening, and it's great to see people discovering new things about the score every day, because it really is a rabbit hole of a score. It's great.
For the brother